This video we're going to learn how to master the nut of the guitar, and I'm going to make an epic test to gain some experience and learn from the best guitar brands out there. And then I'm going to take my nut files and I'm going to adjust my first nut slots. It's going to be nerdy and it's going to be high stakes. Man, I have been looking forward to making this video for over a year, but I didn't have the courage until now.
But Michael, why are you afraid of the nut?
You might ask. Well, because I'm afraid of ruining the guitar. The nut makes a big difference for the intonation, the playability, and the sustain of the whole guitar. The other thing is that it's also small. 0.5 millimeter can make or break your nut. If a nut slot is 0.5 millimeter too deep, well, the guitar is unplayable. So that's why I have been afraid of the nut until now, but not anymore. I'm going to overcome my fear of the nut. So why is it so important that the nut slots have the exact right depth? Well, if the nut slots are not deep enough, the guitar will be impossible to tune and it will be very hard to play, especially close to the nut. Why is that? There's two ways to get a higher tone on a string. If you press down and fret a string, you actually shorten the string and that gives you a higher tone. The other way is to tighten the string, like when you're tuning the guitar or when you're bending. Well, what happens when you push down the string down to the fret? Well, you shorten the string, but also you slightly bend the string. If the string is very high above the fret, you bend the string more. Well, you're bending the string out of tune actually. And even more if you're close to the nut and the nut slots are not deep enough. As a side note, I'm embarrassed to say that it's not long ago that it occurred to me that when you fret a string, you're not pushing the string down to the wood of the fretboard, you're just pushing it down to the top of the fret. That means if you play a little heavy-handed with your left hand and you push hard when you're playing a chord, you will push the tones out of tune. So as you see, it's very important that the nut slots are deep enough so that you don't have to push the strings far to get down to the top of the fret, otherwise you will bend the string out of tune. The guitar isn't the perfect tuned instrument, and that's why we love it. It has its own modulation, its own texture, its own noises. So what if the nut slots are too deep? Well, you can imagine if you play an open string, it will buzz against the first fret right here, and that will actually make the guitar unplayable. So how do you determine the right depth of a nut slot? An old friend who has been working as a luthier for 30 years, he told me, I can feel it. I know when it's good enough, and others say you have to use a measurement, a gauge. So let's do both. Let's get some experience and let's measure with a gauge. So to get the experience, I have a little test prepared. I have a variety of guitars from different manufacturers, factory-made guitars, and we're going to look at the nut slots, see how deep they are. It's not rocket science, but it's a little tricky because it's so small, and if you go too deep, you can't undo it. So first, let's get the experience. Let's look at the different guitars. Fender Stratocaster John Mayer Signature from 2007. Let's have a look at the nut. That is very interesting. There's no gap at all. A little gap right here. Almost no gap also. No gap at all. There's a little gap there. Also here. All right, let's measure. 10 thousandths of an inch doesn't go under here. How about 5? Yeah, even 5 thousandths of an inch is too much here. 10,000 doesn't go under there. 5,000, yeah. And how about here? 10 thousandths actually go under the A string. The D string, not at all. There's actually no gap. John Mayer Signature, 2007. And now let's have a look at a vintage guitar, Gibson ES335 from '78. Looks pretty good. Not a lot of space. What? There's more space on the G string than on the B and the E. The D, A, E. They are super close right here, I've had this guitar since I was 14. I've always had troubles with the G string not getting in tune. That makes sense if it's too high. The slot has been too high for 40 years. Let's measure. 5 thousandths easily goes under. 10 thousandths doesn't really go under. It's lifting the string up. Yeah, 5 thousandths does. Let's see if I'm right, if there's more room under the G string. There definitely is. How about 15? Would that go under? Whoa, actually 15 goes under also. How about 20? No, doesn't. So 15 thousandths of an inch goes under right here. The G string is definitely higher than the B and the E. I've been playing with that for 40 years now. And now I understand why when I'm taking a D chord, I'm pressing it out of tune. All right, low E. It's almost 10 thousandths. Yeah, 10 thousandths I would say. And the last one, the D string. All right, so about 10 thousandths right here. Very close to anyway. Interesting. Actually, the G string is a little higher than the others. And somehow that makes sense. I've been playing this guitar since I was 14, almost 40 years. Pushing the A right here always gave me trouble. And it turns out it's because the nut slot right here has been a little too high. Do I really dare to use the file on my vintage Gibson? I guess I should. If I want to be a pro, I have to. But I have to practice on other guitars first, I think. But that was very interesting. American Standard Strat from '96. Whoa, not a lot of space right there. Over here, same thing. Very nice. Not a lot of space at all. The same right here. Time to measure. Interesting. So about 10 thousandths. 5 thousandths of course goes right under. 5 thousandths, but barely. Low E string, about 5 thousandths. The A string, so about 5 thousandths. And let's do the last one, the D string. 5 thousandths goes under, but barely. So that was very interesting. American Standard 96, not a lot of space. This is a brand new Telecaster Player Series. How are the nut slots on a guitar? Just out of the factory, brand new. Let's see. Whoa, not a lot of room. Very good. A little more space. About 10 thousandths. Let's try out the A string. All right, let's try the D string. 5 thousandths of an inch, the high E string. 5 thousandths, B string. 10 thousandths isn't going under. 5 is. The G string, same thing. 10 thousandths isn't going under. 5 is. Beautiful guitar. Really is. And now the last one. I'm very excited to checking out this PRS Silver Sky. I have a feeling that PRS are pretty committed to detail, so I'm very interested in seeing how deep the nut slots are on a guitar leaving the PRS factory. Let's have a look at that. Seems like there's almost no room. Very, very little. Let's measure. If it's pushing the string up, it's less than 5 thousandths of an inch. The B string, 5 thousandths of an inch. And let's have a look at the G string. All right, 5 thousandths is going smoothly under. The low E string, it's less than 10 thousandths, so about 5 thousandths of an inch right there. Okay, check out the A string. Same thing, 5 thousandths is going smoothly under. The D string, it's about 5 thousandths. That was pretty interesting. PRS Silver Sky, super nice guitar. So this is the result of the epic test of the nut slot depth of the factory built guitars. What did we learn? Well, except from a few outliers, there's a clear pattern here. 10 thousandths down to 5 thousandths of an inch, and that is what I will be going for. And when we look at the newest guitars, the Tele and the PRS, they are pretty consistent with 5/1000 of an inch, and maybe a little more space under the low E and the A string. So that might be good to keep in mind. And now let's check out my first guitar build. This neck I bought on eBay for 76 euros. Let's check out the nut. So the whole idea with looking at all those guitars was to get some experience so that we can be able to look at a guitar like this and decide if the nut slots are deep enough. So what do you think? I don't think they are. They should be deeper, definitely. But let's measure it. 10,000 easily goes under. 15 doesn't. 10,000 definitely. Yeah. 15 also. 10,000 easily goes under. 15 as well. 5,000 right here. 10,000 easily go under. 15 doesn't really go under. And the final one, the D string, 10,000 easily. 15 actually goes under also. So these nut slots are not quite deep enough. They should be from 10,000 down to 5/1000 of an inch. So I'm going to take my nut files and I'm going to try to get them down to where they're supposed to be. Should I go too deep, it's not the end of the world because I'm going to change the neck on this guitar anyway. So now it's time to check out my second guitar build. This neck is from guitaranatomy.com. I haven't touched the nut at all. So let's see how it does compared to all the others. Look at no, not much at all. Looks really good, I think. 10 works. 5/1000 of an inch. 10 doesn't go under. Yeah, 5 does. It goes under, but it touches. It touches the underside of the A string. 5, no problem. 5/1000, yeah. Goes under. All right, so this neck, actually, I would touch this. It's where it's supposed to be. I really like that. When you buy a neck that you don't have to worry about that, not bad. But this one I know is pretty bad. It's put together by my friend Thomas. This is actual gold. He bought this neck at Northwest Guitars from the UK. But the problem is that the nut slots are much too high. This is actually unplayable as it is right now. My goal is to fix it. I promised Thomas to deliver a guitar where the nut slots are just where they're supposed to be. So first I'm going to do my own guitar, then I'm going to fix this one, and then if I dare, I'm going to fix the nut slot for the G string on my vintage Gibson. This is so high stakes, you have no idea. If I should ruin that nut, that would be a catastrophe. That just can't happen. But I have to try, because otherwise, how will I ever become a pro at this? So let's do it. So this is the big moment. I'm going to open the nut files. This is Ibanez nut files made in Japan. They are fitting this set of strings, 10, 13, 17, 26, 36, and 46. That's the exact thickness of each of those files. All right, so now it's getting serious. The B string, that would be 13/1000 of an inch. It's very important as we do this that we don't get this angle, but we want a slight angle downwards. Whoa, that really did something, I think. Absolutely. No idea how much is taking off. Well, a little more maybe. So I just discovered something. You have to tune the string up to be able to check. This is 5/1000. Let's do the E string. Super low. Yeah, 5,000, but no buzz. Very good. Let's do the G string. 17,000s right here.
I think we are about where we want to be. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Looks good. We're going for the A string, just a little down, not much at all. I think that's it. I did it. My first experience with filing knot slots. The A, when I fretted on the second fret, that's perfect. So on to the next one. I think that's it. So I did it. I did the knot slots. They are down where they're supposed to be. I had to file off a lot of material. This is going to be a nice guitar. So now it's getting serious. This knot slot needs to be fixed. The G string, it's too high. I can't mess this up. I need it to be just perfect. Wish me luck. All right, let's do it. I'm just going very, very slowly down. I don't need to take much off, but just a little. Let's do it. Is that enough? Not quite. Just a little more. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That was it. I did it. The nut slot for the G string is now exactly the depth of the B string, the E string. So it will be easier for me now to get the guitar in tune. So this was a milestone. I overcame my fear of the nut and I'm a better guitar builder for it. And you should too. It's not that scary. It's a little scary, but not that scary, but a little. So go check your guitar. See if the nut slots are deep enough. If you want to see how I build these guitars, there are links in the description to playlists so you can see the whole build. And also remember there's a discount code in the description for anything you buy on guitaranatomy.com. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button, the like button, the little bell icon. Helps me out a lot. And in my next video, I'm going to change the neck on this guitar and I'm going to do a little test to see if it changes the sound at all. Is that something you should do? So stay tuned for that.